Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Kelsey and thank you so much for joining me today. Today, I'm doing a new video that I think this subject is so interesting. I love watching these videos. I'm going to be talking about my favorites from May of 2017. That's 2 years ago. That's so crazy. I had just kind of like gotten into the swing of YouTube at that time, and I was doing monthly favorites at the time, which I don't do monthly favorites anymore. I have a whole thing on it. I feel pressure to put together monthly favorites, but I feel like a while ago people started doing these videos where they kind of like went back to their old monthly favorites to see if they like still liked those products or where those products were in their collection at that point. And I love these videos. Like, these are some of my favorite videos to watch. I know whenever they come up in my like subscription feed, they're like the first ones I click because I think they're so interesting. So I thought I would just give it a shot today. So like I said, we're throwing it back to May of 2017. I will link my video down below. It's not rough, but maybe a little bit. But I did talk about quite a few products, and I want to say, what did I do? I think I had I'm trying to think, May of 2017, my sister was getting married that year. One of my sisters was getting married, and I had gone home for her bridal shower. And I think I had just gotten back from that trip, and so like a few of the things were kind of like reminiscent of that trip, or like things that I bought while I was there or that I was using while I was there. And so I'll kind of go into a little bit of detail on that, I guess, but let's just jump in. I think the first thing I mentioned was actually this perfume. Also at that time, my mom and dad had just come to visit me and my husband here in Minnesota. Like earlier in the month. They came at the end of April and were here through like the first week of May for my birthday. My birthday was actually yesterday. I just turned 30, which is weird. I'm coming to terms with. And so one of the things I was talking about was that my mom bought me this perfume for my birthday because we went shopping, and it's totally worn off. And actually something that's interesting is like 3 or 4 of the products that I talked about are now in my Project Pan, which is just kind of interesting. This is the first one that I talked about as a favorite, and it is now in my Project Pan. This is the Prada Candy, and it's the Rollerball perfume. I do still like this. I'm gonna put some on. I do like this perfume. Like I said, it's in my Project Pan. I put it in a Project Pan a few years ago as well. Stuff that I was like trying to finish up by the end of the year, and I got nowhere close to it. I'm about halfway done with it right now. I have a lot left to use. I would like to finish it by this year because I feel like it's starting to change scents a little bit. This is a very sweet smelling perfume, but it's not like too sweet. Like, it's not like just sugar. It's like sweet and musky, which I really like. It's one of my go-to kind of scents, and so I still do really like this. The next products are gonna be in no particular order because I don't remember the order after that. But let's go with the rest of the things that are in my Project Pan, because that's kind of fun. The first is this blush. This is from Tarte, and it's in the shade Party. And this was the Sephora birthday gift that year, which I had just picked up because it was my birthday just that month. But little spoiler, as you can see from my Project Pan, I have hit a lot of pan. I am wearing this today. I love this blush. It's one of my go-tos. This is usually the blush I take when I'm traveling, because I know if I want to do any sort of look, whether it's cool tone, neutral, or warm tone, I can wear this blush. It's just like such a good blush to go to, and so I still love this blush. And the other one was this highlight, and I'm also wearing this today. This is from Urban Decay, and it's a little sample of their highlight in the shade Sin. This is one of my favorite highlights that I have ever had. It's a really great like golden highlight, but like very fair too. It's just a really good color for my skin tone. It looks great. It lasts a long time on the skin, and like I said, I love this, and I am hoping to finish this off by the end of this year because I don't have a ton left, but there's still a good chunk of product in here. I think that was it for my Project Pan items. But I have a mascara. I had just gotten a little sample of this in an Ipsy bag, and this is the IT Cosmetics Superhero Mascara. So this is not the same one, but I think I've actually had this like twice since then. Like I think this is my second like full-size package that I've had of this, and I love this mascara. I'm also wearing this today. I think this is such a great mascara. I think I bought it one time, and then this one came in a BoxyCharm a few months ago. This one's kind of at the end of its life. It's like to the point where it's a little crumbly and like it flakes off the lashes pretty fast. But I love this mascara. It's such a great mascara. It definitely like lengthens, adds some volume. It's just a really great mascara, and I just still totally love it. I don't know if I will repurchase it anytime soon, because I have other mascaras I'm using, but I know this is going to be probably a go-to mascara for me if I'm ever wanting like a high-end mascara and it's on sale or something. I'll probably get it again. This one is not something that's like super exciting, but I have repurchased it. It's the Dr. Bronner's soap. It's like just like their Castile solid soap, and I think this is like the peppermint scent. I use this to clean my brushes. I just used up the one that I talked about in that video, actually, was like a new one. I just bought it, and I just finished that up, maybe not just, but like probably beginning of this year. And so I had that for a really long time, and I wash my brushes like usually once a week. Sometimes I'll switch between this and something else, but this is my favorite product to use to clean my brushes. It works so good. I haven't used this for anything else. If you've used this soap for something and you like it for something, I'd love to know your thoughts on it, because that's all I use it for, is just washing my brushes. But I'm sure it's great in lots of other things. I know the liquid Castile soap is like a great base for lots of stuff, whether you're making your own like body products or to wash clothes. There's like so many things you can do with it. So I'm sure this one has a lot of things you can do with it as well. So if you have any tips, let me know. Now I just have two more products that I have on me. The other products I don't have anymore. So the first one, this is the Wet n Wild Color Icon bronzer in the shade Ticket to Brazil. And they recently repackaged this, and they came out with like a bunch of new shades of their bronzers. This is literally like my favorite bronzer ever. Again, I'm wearing it today. I have used this for years. I love this bronzer. But the new one that is called Ticket to Brazil doesn't look like this anymore. And it could just be like my eyes are playing tricks on me. I don't own it. I haven't bought it. But I feel like when I see it in stores, it doesn't look like this. It looks darker. This is like the perfect bronzer for me. It is really light. And so it goes great with like my fair skin. It doesn't look too orangey or like too gray. It's just such a great bronzer. There's a little bit of like a sheen to it. It's not like matte, but it's also not like shimmery or glittery. It just has such a great finish to the skin. It makes your skin look super healthy and glowy. I love it so much, and I'm scared that they reformulated it and ruined it. But kind of funny story with this was when I went to California for my sister's bridal shower, like I was saying earlier, no, it must have been before this. When did oh no, yep, I remember. Okay, so for her bridal shower, I actually forgot foundation and concealer when I went to California, and ended up using my sister's for like a few days because she has super similar skin tone to me. But after she left, I needed to pick something up, so I went to Target, as you would normally with sisters, and picked up a foundation, and then I also picked up this bronzer because I was like, I think I want to try a new bronzer. And I think I actually used this like in the past, and so I was like, I'm gonna try that one again. I think I liked that one. And so I bought one of these, got home, used it, loved it, and it was like my go-to bronzer. And then when I went to California again for my sister's wedding in June, forgot my bronzer, so I went to the store to buy another bronzer, and I was like, oh, I'll try something different. And I literally bought this exact same one. So I had 2 of these. I recently decluttered one of them because I was like, I don't need 2 of these bronzers anymore. It's gonna take me like 5 years to ever hit pan on one of them. And so I got rid of the older one and kept the newer one, and I still, like, I'm gonna use this forever and ever. And there is an expiration date on it of 2020. So like, that's not even that far. That's like less than a year. And so we'll see how far I make it on this, but I do really love this bronzer. But for the new formula, I cannot speak to. I might have to try it, just to do a little comparison. And the last product that I do have on hand is the Tarte Tartelette in Bloom palette. This is one of my favorite palettes, actually. This is like one of my go-tos, a great one for travel. It's just, there's such great shades in here. It is a little bit more on the cool tone side, but not like cool tone. I remember when I bought it, I thought this was like a warm tone palette. When I got this in May of that year. I actually got it when I was home in California. My sisters got it for me for my birthday. And so I remember being at Sephora and being like, I want a warm tone palette. And so I ended up getting this one because I was like, oh yes, it's got like those like pinks and like it's just like really warm. Now I would not consider this a warm tone palette at all. I consider this more of like a cool tone palette, rosy kind of. And so it's just funny how like perspective changes. But I do really, really like this palette. The shimmers in here are so beautiful. This shade Funny Girl right here is probably one of my favorite shades in the palette. It's just such a beautiful like shimmery champagne color. I love the like pink tones. The like browns are great. This is more like the cool tone row, but they're all, it's such a great palette. I love it so much and I still use it all the time. This is like one of my favorite palettes to go to for like special occasions. I don't really know why. It just seems like such a great palette to use for like a wedding or like doing something fancy. I don't know. This is like one of my go-to palettes and I really, really love it. So now moving on to the products that I don't have in my collection anymore. The first one is the Eva NYC Dry Shampoo. I'd gotten a sample size of this from Influencer and really, really liked it. At the time, I was also using some other Eva NYC hair products, and I do really enjoy their hair products. I don't have any of their products in my collection right now. I'm trying to use up some other stuff, but I probably will eventually go back and try some of their stuff because I really enjoyed it. The dry shampoo, I probably won't repurchase. And I never did, actually. I wanted to. I remember saying in my favorites video, and actually I was watching it again, and it's always so funny to like look at yourself and be like, I said I was gonna repurchase it and I never did. And so I said I was gonna repurchase it, but I never did. And I think partially was because I was like using other things, and I also didn't want to like spend, because I think their dry shampoo was like 10 bucks or so, which isn't crazy. But at the time I was like using Batiste as well, and that's like $6. And I was also using a Lush dry shampoo. And so since then I have kind of stopped using aerosol container dry shampoos, just for personal reasons. I don't really have anything against aerosol containers, and honestly I think it works so much better than like powdered dry shampoos. But I'm just trying to do it a little bit for the environment. I don't know. And so I haven't repurchased it, and I probably won't, but I did really, really enjoy it. Kind of funny, the last product that I don't have on hand anymore is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation, and I loved that stuff. Like, I loved that foundation back in the day. That was my go-to. Like, I was using that all the time. I repurchased it like 3 times, I think. I loved that foundation. I thought it looked great on my skin. It was affordable. And then I don't know what happened. It just all of a sudden, I think it was actually later that year too. Like, I don't think it was like super long after that, but my skin just started reacting to it weird. And like, not that it was like breaking me out or anything. I just felt like it looked awful on my skin all of a sudden. I really honestly have no idea how it happened, but it's, I've talked about it since as like a product I really don't like anymore, just like a disappointing product I've changed my mind on. I'm not a fan of the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation anymore. I did recently pick up their stick foundation, and I'm actually wearing it today. It's a much lighter coverage foundation than the original Photo Focus like liquid foundation. And I'm still testing it out, trying to get my thoughts on it, but the liquid foundation I cannot do anymore, and it smells like paint. Which I overlooked because I was like, I love this foundation so much, I'll just keep using it. The smell doesn't affect me. Once you have it blended on your skin, it's no big deal. And since I've talked about the Wet n Wild foundation, like saying that I don't like it anymore, I feel like I've had a lot of people say that it did the same thing for them, where they like loved the foundation at first and then just like all of a sudden it was like, no, I don't like this anymore. This looks terrible on my skin. And so I don't know if it just like does something weird to your skin all of a sudden where you're like, this is not the look I want, or if it's just us, our minds playing tricks on us. I don't know. But those were all the products that I talked about in my May favorites of 2017. Whew, that was a long time ago. That was 2 years ago. That's so crazy. It does not feel like it's been 2 years, but in some ways it also feels like it's been a lot longer, you know? So anyways, that was my video. I'd love to hear some of your thoughts on maybe you had like some old favorites that aren't really favorites anymore, or maybe you've got old favorites that you still love. Like some of the products I talked about, I still love them. I use them all the time. I repurchase them. They're like favorites. And that's kind of like what I miss about doing favorites, is I feel like I was talking about things I really, really liked, but then some months I felt like I was just like trying to push favorites and like always trying new makeup to try and like find new favorites. But then sometimes it was like I had these favorites, like these ones. I've had these for years and I love them. And so I don't know, maybe I'll start them again soon. Now I just do favorite videos like every few months when I kind of like feel like I have a good collection of stuff together that I'm like, yes, I love these products. I want to talk about them. And so I don't know, I haven't done one for maybe a month and a half, so I'm sure there will be one coming up soon. But yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for joining me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe down below if you haven't already. I would love to have you around. And until next time, bye guys.